Welcome back to Houston Newsmakers. We are 2 days away from the end of this election period. On election night, we'll be carrying live coverage of the returns with network and local results. And I'll be starting at 6:30 with our online coverage with a couple of experts who certainly know their way around politics. Carol Robinson is a former Houston City Council member, HCC trustee, and now professor at the Barbara Jordan Mickey Leland School of Public Affairs, and Paul Simpson, an attorney and engineer and also former chair of the Harris County Republican Party. Good morning to both of you, and I want to start with you, Paul. Other than the race for the top of the ticket, what state or local races will you be most closely watching?
That's a really good question, Cambrell. I'm looking forward to Tuesday's, fight across the country and here locally in Texas. Of course, the congressional races are very hot here in the Houston area. We've got a great Republican candidate, Wes Hunt, fighting to take back the Congressional District 7 district for Congress. But I think one of the biggest and hottest sets of races around the state are going to be for the Texas House. Both parties know how critical this is because redistricting is on the calendar next year for the legislature, and I believe that there's a very slim margin by which the Republicans hold the House, I think by about 7 or 8 seats. So we have quite a few hotly contested state House races here in the Houston area, including candidates on our side like Lacey Hull, Justin Ray, Mike Schofield, Sarah Davis. So some incumbents, some challengers, and those are going to be very hard fought over. And so I think those are particular races we'll be focusing on, in addition to obviously the national races.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be watching that very intently. Carol, what's your thought about the races most to watch?
Well, I'll be watching the Seema Crenshaw race. I think that'll be a bellwether. Then you have the race down in the 22nd Congressional District, basically the Fort Bend area. Those two will tell us how the night is going to go, I think, statewide. I'll also be watching the mayor's race down in Pearland with Quentin Wills. I've got a JP candidate that I'm keeping an eye on in Brazoria County. And then something that most people aren't paying much attention to, I'm going to be watching to see how Biden does across the state Senate districts, whether he win or lose, because I think that'll be an arbiter of what redistricting will look like and how much focus the state Senate will get in 2022 from Democrats across the nation. Just like the state House races, as a result of Beto's performance in 2018, put all of them in play this cycle. I think Democrats win the House. It'll be a close margin, as Paul mentioned, but I think at the end of the day, when you look at the turnout across the state, I wouldn't be surprised if in the Metroplex we see some Republicans lose state House races that no one is talking about right now.
So Paul, very quickly, you only have about 30 seconds each on this. The big turnout, do you think that says anything about, does it give any indication as to what the results will be? Start with you, Paul.
I think maybe not, because both sides are highly motivated. We actually don't see the ramp up of this last week in early voting that we normally see. So the question is just a lot of regular later early vote or even election day voters get moved into early voting. I think the big thing you've got to watch, though, what's really different about this election is for the first time, we do not have straight ticket voting, one punch straight ticket. We've now joined the vast majority of other states, which you have to go all the way down the ballot to vote. So considering 2 years ago was a high watermark of straight ticket voting in the state, and Harris County, 3 out of every 4 voters voted straight ticket. Right. So that's going to be a really good indication as we see some down ballot races, how they do through the day and how important it is, I know, for our voters to vote all the way down the ticket because there's no straight ticket voting.
Carol, you got a thought about the turnout and what kind of impact it might have?
I think when you look at how many new voters have turned out or infrequent voters, I think a lot of it, what it's telling us, especially young voters, is that you've probably seen an uptick in Democratic turnout. I'm not that worried about down ballot because even when we had straight ticket, you didn't have a lot of drop off as you went down the ballot. So I think the folks that are showing up, especially the veteran voters, they have a pretty clear idea of what they're going to be doing, either Democrat or Republican. So I don't think the no straight ticket is going to be as impactful as we all thought it would be when this cycle started.
Carol Robinson, Paul Simpson, look forward to spending election night with you. It's going to be fun. The last time I did this 4 years ago was quite a surprise. And I look forward to seeing what happens this time around. We'll look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, guys. Thank you so much.